Alright, I don't know if I line that back up. I just moved the screen around so I'd know where to cut it. I mentioned that I could stack things onto my default attack option, and that is what this is explaining. Now, I'm not going to follow all this. If you decide to play Ryzom, I highly recommend you read this particular set of dialogue. It is very important if you intend to move beyond swinging a knife. That said, you can use default actions and get pretty decent results. But if you want to excel and really enjoy the game and be able to play without large teams, it's best if you really take to heart paying attention as far as how to customize your own actions. So we're going to get rid of all this, and I'm going to demonstrate what she's referring to. So these actions I have up here in the bar, I can right click on them and delete them, edit them, see info about them, and it will tell me a little info box with, you know, what the class of the action is, yada yada yada. I can cut them, I can copy them, I can answer text messages in the middle of recording. Oh boy. Sorry about that. So my buddy is a big streamer. Well, not a big streamer. He's big into streaming. And he's trying to get it set up to do it from his PC, and it's just not working for him. He's having some issues, and after getting frustrated with Rocket League, he said, I'm going to figure this out. And I said, no, you're going to end up putting your tower in the yard. Wait till tomorrow, and I will give you a hand. But back to that. We can do cut, copy, yada yada yada. We can edit it. I can click on a blank space and create new, but for now I'm just going to edit my default attack. So edit. Now it gives me the edit action screen. Now this top area here, well, let's start at the very top. This gives me the icon that will show up in my action bar. I can give a name to this. Default attack is very long-winded. I don't need that. I need attack, ATK. It shows below that what weapons it's compatible with, and my default attack is pretty well compatible with everything right now. Now below that I have two buttons, add option and add credit. If I add option, you'll notice over here I've got increased damage or accurate. If I select one of them, it gives a level of that perk to the attack and charges me 5 points. I can do the same thing with increased damage for another 5 points, which means my action cost is 10. I now have to look under credits and add a credit that is equal to -10 so that I have a balance, or a negative balance, which gives a difficulty bonus. In this case, the options I have available right off the get-go are consumption factors, which are going to take stamina up here out of my stamina bar to complete the action. So it was free. It's going to cost me 0.5 stamina for every time I swing my axe now. I'm okay with that. My other option up here is sap, which is your magic points or your mana. So those three are pretty basic. Focus is something you don't find in a lot of games, but it is the equivalent of stamina or mana for crafting and foraging. They decided to separate it out. But bottom line is, I've improved my default attack to be more accurate and more damaging for a little bit of stamina cost per use, and that's a good trade-off. But that's the basic system. You add options, you buy options, you add them, and then you have to balance them. If you can't balance them, then you can't do the action. It says match here, which means I can use it. If I remove this, cast is impossible because it's imbalanced, and it shows a little out of balance tree right there. Similarly, if I add that back in and remove one of the actions so that I have 5 and then 10, it's giving me a difficulty bonus because I'm spending more than I'm gaining. I'm okay with break even. I don't really need the difficulty bonus, and at this point it's helpful to have all that combined in one. So I'm going to learn the action, and now I am going to take my accuracy attack and delete it because it's in the way. Same thing for the increased damage. Neither of them matter now because they're all combined in my main attack. Now slot 2 up here, which is empty, will later be filled with something else, and it's when I get some options where I have to use like a opening after parry or dodge, which would mean I'd only be able to use the action after one of those things occurred. I'll add that in there as a quote special. So let's see what our next mission is and do a quick time check. I know I said I wasn't going to do it. Okay. 8 minutes into this episode, maybe a little less because I waffled on a bit. Hunters and Prey 4. Fight of the Predators. I accept your challenge. And she's going on to tell me that they found a dead Bodok carcass and that it was dragged somewhere and savagely disemboweled, and they need to know what did it, because if they do that to a Bodok, it could do that to a human, or Haman as they are referred to in this game. So we are going off. The crime scene is 600 meters away, give or take. Definitely engaging auto run for this one. So we're going to just run off in the distance, and I'm going to attempt to talk while I see... Okay, nothing new in that department. Good. So that's that. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I enjoy playing, and I'm starting to enjoy rather than feel anxious anticipation at recording these. And, you know, this is all of episode 3. I've been doing this for 25-30 minutes now straight, because I'm just going to cut it up. It seems the most logical route. If I stopped and edited it, I would only get about 30 or 40 minutes of playtime per night. But, you know, sacrifices have to be made if you're a YouTube content creator. And I have little else to be doing at 4:30 in the morning. I work second shift, I get off at midnight, I drive home, which is a 30 to 40 minute drive. And then when I get here, I'm wound for sound and just wouldn't bother attempting to sleep. Now, I am going to give you a bit of a spoiler. I'm going to get up here. Oh, I bumped a key. And the mobs that attacked the Bodok and left its disemboweled carcass are all aggro, and they will mob me, and they will kill me if I'm not paying attention. So I'm going to explain all that now, and hopefully I can keep talking and pay attention while I do this. We are now 50 meters from the crime scene. I see a carcass. I'm going to stop right here because there is a tendency for some of them to be right over there. And there it is, a weenie ragus, as I just targeted. I have to run over here, though, in order to trigger the quest. I'm at the crime scene. Okay, there it is. Not much left of the Bodok. These traces are still fresh. The ones responsible can't be too far. And since I had targeted a ragus, rather a weenie ragus, the quest went ahead and advanced. So what I'm going to do is get close enough to taunt him. Now he will come get me. Oh, nope, it failed. Not a common thing with this particular action. Okay, there it comes. Because I only want to take on one of these guys at a time. Because if they mob me, I am done. Alright, there's one. By the way, the update in the quest, for those of you who can't see, which is probably most of you unless I squared away my rendering problem, I had to kill 5 of them. That was 1. I need 4 more. That way I can go back to camp and report that they did it and that I thinned out the herd a bit. There's another one. And he's over here by himself, so I have no qualms about just running. I'll show you the hostile thing. See, I didn't do anything to him. He developed this little eye next to his name, which meant he was very interested in me. And being an aggro mob, he went ahead and ran over and tried to twist my shit up. Hostile or passive mobs will also develop the eye, but they're just observing you. They won't actually do anything. That's a U-bow. I don't need an inexperienced U-bow. I need a ragus. And I will show you briefly what happened to me the very first time I did this quest. I'm not actually going to do it, because I don't want to die. But you can probably see a number of them back there if you hold your mouse over the compass and scroll out with your wheel. You can see additional blips appearing on the radar. Everything from where my cursor is to the top of this compass are Raguses. And if I run over there in the midst of them, they will all attack me down to the last one, or at least until the first 6 have gotten to me, because that's all it would probably take to kill me in a fairly quick order. I'm not interested, so again, I'm going to try and taunt one of these guys, got him, and then run away from the pack to deal with him, so that I don't die. And he runs faster than me, so probably turn around and give him the old dagger. Yeah, I get it. I like these moves. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody fight a Ragus like that. Whatever a Ragus is, I gather that they're coyotes or wolves or something like that. I think that's the intent. I need 2 more. This is a dangerous work. Very dangerous work. This could end my young Ryzom YouTubing career right here. These guys could just murder me. I could respawn and keep playing, and it wouldn't be cheaty because there is a penalty. What happens in Ryzom when you die, as happens I think in WoW. It's been many years since I played WoW. It's probably been 10 years. But when you die in Ryzom, you incur a death penalty if you respawn. You can be resurrected by another player and suffer no ill consequences, which is good if you're a healing magician, bad if you're a fighter and there's nobody around to heal you. But if you respawn at one of the stock areas, if you will, you lose all of your stats up here. They all reset to 0, and you have to wait on them all to build back up before you can really go do anything. And then on top of that, you incur a death penalty that you have to work off, which will eat your experience. So when I killed my last Ragus here, it gave me 1100 experience. Had I died, all or at least some of that experience would have paid off my death penalty instead of leveling up my character. And that is just not good form. So we've gotten our 5, that was the 5th. And I am going to head back to Miss Gutiérrez. If that's even how you pronounce that, I have no idea. Like I said, the names in this game are absolutely diabolical. And you can probably hear my old lady's alarm telling her it's time for work, which I have a suspicion she'll turn off. Ah, there it went. That happens when you're sick. But we are running back to camp, and we'll complete the quest for the evening. And that will probably be it for tonight. I think 3 episodes is good enough. That's roughly 60 minutes of gameplay on my end, and probably 2 hours worth of editing on my end. Longer, if I can't figure it out. Eventually what I'll do is I'll do probably several hours of recording a night in the week, and I will edit it out into multiple episodes and throw them up one at a time. And then anything else that comes along through the week, be it ceramics or brewing or whatever else has captured my attention for that week, I'll be able to still shoot and have some videos for that. Because I'll just do all the recording and editing for the Ryzom Let's Play in one day per week. If that made any sense. What I'm trying to say is I'm going to do all of this crap on one day. You'll see videos on multiple days, but it'll all be recorded on one day here and one day there. So, we are coming back into camp. By the way, this little area to my left here with the white ape-looking things and the large teardrop-looking things is the Kami Thingamabob Sanctuary. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. Kami Enclave, okay. I can resurrect there, but I would incur said death penalty that I discussed. So we're going to go turn this quest in, get us some experience, and then Raguses are responsible, or Ragus, singular even with a plural. Okay, excellent. The danger should be less now. Yada yada yada. She's very thankful. Here is an axe. Thank God. Give me the ballast axe. I'll take that. And I'll equip it. Better weaponry is always better. And I can't really give you a view of this because it will always try to meet my, actually, you know what? I don't think I've ever done this. Hey, that's the ticket. Oh. Okay. I want to right click here. Left click instead of right click. There's my guy. He's got his new axe. He's got those spiffy boots we made a while back. That's good stuff. Yeah. And if I hit P, that's Papa, as in P, you'll see I've accrued 70 points in fight to spend with the trainer, as well as 10 in craft. And we'll do that on our next time around. I think we're going to call that a day for this time, so I'll have me a seat. We'll sit here and take a look at Denalis here. He's chilling in the grass, you know, refugee, tackling things with a knife like a badass. We'll pick this up again at another time. Once again, I hope you guys are enjoying these. I'm enjoying the gameplay. I'm beginning to enjoy the recording, and we'll see how things go. Ta-ta for now.